Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, and thank you for joining us once again, TheModenstersOfGaming. I'm KaijuK, with me here is Nick.
What up?
And we are once again doing our Pokemon Mirror Edition. So this position is supposed to be in the center. There we go. Now, there's been an update. I've actually found a really wicked website where I've been able to actually create maps of different routes that I've been making. It's scratch.mit.edu/projects/1760071/player, and it's the Pokemon Map Maker. So first off, I'd like to start off by showing off a few of the new maps that I've designed. If you all remember how Digsite Alpha 2 looked originally, you're going to be in for a bit of a surprise, because this is now Digsite Alpha 2. I can actually proudly say, look at this map, and say, hey, this is what the dig site is supposed to look like. Now, a few details that weren't in the original. There's a, as you can see in the bottom center, there's a ladder. You won't be able to reach that till later on in the game. And in the upper right, there's a small cave, which you also will not be able to reach till later on in the game. However, they will both be important to the plot. I've also created a little tunnel out of the area so you can actually leave. These are called switching stations in the leftmost center area. On top of that, I also have Route 1 designed. Boom! Route 1.
Very cool.
I like it. Now, Route 1 is still going to be kind of Savannah location, but there's a few things that I'd like to bring up. First of all, like in the center below the 3 trees, you'll notice a mass of grass. That's where areas where you'll find higher level Pokemon and possibly double or even triple battles against wild Pokemon. So these are areas where you can boost your experience a lot quicker. As you can see, there's a couple twists, a couple turns, and a little water feature that I thought was cool. You'll also notice this mysterious tree that's locked amongst breakable rocks in the close to the upper right corner. Those will be very important later on in the game as well. If you guys can't tell, I've got a bit of a cold right now, so you'll actually have to forgive me. In the bottom left corner, there's another switching hut. Now, the problem is I can't find a map maker to design internal structures to buildings, so you're just going to have to use your imagination. Now, without further ado, let me actually go into the actual areas that are going to be new today, which would be Route 2. Now, Route 2, as you can see, will be south of the switching station, which, like I said, I couldn't show you. But it's a small area with lots of tall, dark grass areas for you to get multi-battles in. And it's actually a two-part. This is actually the first half of the route, which will lead with you crossing the bridge, into the second half, which is this part of the route. Now, once again, you'll see a bunch of those shimmering trees on the right-hand side, surrounded by breakable rocks, and a hut. Now, inside that hut will be, of course, one of the most important characters you ever meet in the game, the original fisherman, who will, of course, give you an old rod. Now, the problem is that if the upper right, where it looks like you can go fishing, there's actually going to be 2 people doing an experiment, so you won't be able to go there just yet. But that doesn't mean that there isn't fun to be had. Now, let's go back to Route 2A real quick. Now, Route 2A is actually going to have a list of Pokemon, so let's pop them up real quick. The first one, of course, is called Block-On. Block-On is a normal type whose appearance and colors will vary quite rapidly, and they tend to look like Lego pieces. The difference is that there's one very rare one with a special ability that's actually going to be shaped like a Lincoln log. They're going to be a defensive in nature, and they're going to be quite common throughout the game. This is Falarabee. She's a normal fairy type who's actually going to be using a bunch of sound and dance-based moves. So Quiver Dance, Chatter, etc. And her own special skill, which we'll get to on a later date. Next is one of my favorites. This is Givich. It's a flying ground type. It's based off of the turkey. It's going to be quite common. It's going to have pretty average stats, probably more in the HP department. So, you know, get used to seeing this cute little guy running around and his evolutions. Rodent makes a return, but he'll be throughout the game, so expect him. I'm thinking of giving him, like, Runaway as a special ability, or possibly a move like Play Dead.
That could work.
And then, last but not least, is the first fighting type of the group. This is Waglip. This is a poison fighting type. He's going to have really good HP and defense, and I'm thinking of giving him either Poison Touch or Poison Point abilities, just so he has some kind of excuse me, defensive measure against Pokemon. I always like the idea of having a fighting poison type, with the exception of having a 4x weakness to Psychic, so you gotta be careful with them. But his evolutions even look pretty cool, so you'll be seeing them later. Now, as I said, this is actually a two-part route, so there's also Part B. Now, Part B will have some of the same Pokemon, but it'll also have brand new ones of its own. So, for instance, you might run into Bier. Bier is going to be the Caterpie of the game. She's actually a Bug Fairy type, believe it or not. And she will rapidly evolve, possibly by level 20 to her third evolution. And all three are... Oh, sorry. I forgot that I set this only to 10 seconds. Give me a second to fix this. Oh, wow. Embarrassing for me right there. It's supposed to be 15 seconds, damn it. Okay, let's try this again. With less suck. No, you're supposed to be in the center. Why are you not in the center? Why are you not fitting the screen? Why do you do this to me? I'm sick. Oh. But yeah, so this will be the Butterfree / Caterpie of the game. This is Nikitten. Nikitten's actually going to be a special attack heavy Pokemon. It's going to learn a lot of Dark, Ghost, and Fire type moves, and it starts off as a Dark type. Now, what will it evolve into? Well, you'll find out later on. But trust me, it's well worth it. Necropick this Pokemon. Ronan once again makes a return because, well, he's going to be with you for most of the game.
He's the Rattata.
He's the Rattata, but he's got some cool. I got some cool ideas for him. He's going to be pretty stable throughout the entire game. Now, the next one's actually one of my favorites so far, design-wise. This is Skunkit. And Skunkit is a poison type, but she's going to specialize in stat-altering moves. So she's going to learn moves like Growl and Mud Slap, Flash, along with moves like Toxic, so she can keep Pokemon on the down low. Back. So the whole idea of these routes are after the events of Digsite Alpha 2. And after you find out that one of the legendary Pokemon is broken free, you're going to head to Route 1, of course, where the members of the Steel Hand will not be there anymore, and you'll be able to make your way all the way down to Route 2A. Now, Route 2A will, of course, have its standard amount of trainers, you know, the basic newbies.
Right.
Now, something I wanted to add is that you will be able to re-challenge trainers. Not immediately, mind you, but, you know, I'd say every 5 or 10 levels, give or take, if you want to come back and try to fight them again, their Pokemon will... I mean, the trainers may not gain new Pokemon like the gym people will, but their Pokemon will definitely have leveled up to meet your challenges. So, going back to these areas are pretty useful, especially these water features. Now, these water features will, once a day, be able to grant you the item Fresh Water. So, you'll be able to get a 50 HP healing item once per day. So I think that's a pretty cool feature that'll keep you bringing back. So you'll make your way through Route 2 here, up until the bridge. You'll meet somebody on the bridge. I believe it'll be one of your rivals, and of course they'll mysteriously have the Pokemon you're weak to.
Yeah.
And of course you'll kick their arse because you know you're a badass at this point in time. And they'll actually give you your first set of Pokeballs. So you'll actually get 10 Pokeballs from them because they actually like you. They're not going to be a douchebag rival. They're going to be like, all your rivals in this game are going to be the same type of person. I mean, there will be the douche. There's got to be the douche. But
Yeah.
after this, you'll head down to Route 2B, where you can do some standard leveling up. You know, go get yourself a couple bug types, or get yourself a poison type or two. Because they're going to be kind of important later on. Not going to say when, but this is a good time to get them, and maybe even try to find the rare Nikitten. Spoiler alert, Nikitten can only be found in triple battles, which are extremely rare. They're going to be a 1 out of 25. Double battles are going to be a 1 out of 10. And single battles in the tall grass will be, well, everything else.
Every time.
Yeah. Now, of course, there's also no guarantee that Nikitten will be found, because they also can only be found in triple battles at night, and only during rain. And as Necro has put it up, we're going to actually make a large focus on weather effects.
Yes.
If I were to do it, I would find some way to have it randomly set, maybe from a database of storms or something, from the Galapagos, maybe like 100 years worth of their storms, so at this certain time, at this certain day, you might have to deal with rain.
Right.
Now, Of course, you'll be able to run into the room where you'll find the old fisherman who will give you the fishing rod, which you'll be able to use on the next route to gain your very first couple of water Pokemon, which are going to be the dopey water Pokemon that you can catch on the normal rod.
Nice.
Now, like I said, I don't have much more set up because this is just as far as I've gotten right now. But when I tune back in for the next one, folks, we're going to be introducing you to the very first town. We're also going to introduce you to the very first gym leader, who you will be able to battle and see if you can get your very first gym badge. But until next time, folks, I'm KaijuK.
I'm there, okay?
We will see you all in the future. Peace out, everybody.